a sandwich. If I called a hot dog a sandwich, do you think that you would be fine with it? If not, then why? Let's bust this wide. Mary, Carrie, Kelly, oh my, is it a sandwich? Well, let's decide.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Matt, your producer, who always chooses the soup and never the salad. Get ready. It's time. Order up.
I don't understand that, Matt. Well, when I think about it, I probably do go more soup than salad, but I don't take it off the menu. It's never not an option.
It's just so much more savory.
Unless it's the pea barley soup. I mean, the soup of the day, like pea barley is, with the ham hock. No thanks.
No,
Sorry,
thank
everybody.
you. I'm with Mary.
I can't do that. That's unfair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
especially now that I'm sick, I want something. I need a little bit of sustenance.
Exactly. Friends at home, you're of course listening to one of our co-hosts on Order Up, Mary, who is feeling under the weather. I am Kelly Zemnicka. So far, so good. I'm going to knock on some wood. Carrie is joining us too, and Matt, of course, who you heard off the top. Now, Mary, do you have a go-to soup for when you're not feeling well? For me, it's matzo ball soup, like hands down.
Yeah, me too. Matzo ball soup, and it's and I tried to recreate it on my own, and it may be because I'm a Gentile, but it didn't work. So I said, you know what, I'm going to try it by myself. Let's see what happens. And it just didn't work. So I had to go to the Jewish deli and get the matzo ball soup, and it's delish. And that's what I need to do. So, I love Jewish food, you guys. Like, I love it. Like, I would love to just, during the Christmas season, have like latkes and all that, the fun Hanukkah food, but my family doesn't love latkes. But maybe if latkes was in a soup, that would be my second.
No, they can't. They can't be in a soup because they're crispy and delicious. And if they went in the soup, they'd be soggy. And as the Jewish representation in this podcast, although I can't speak for our upcoming guest, I've actually never made chicken soup. My mom makes really good chicken soup. My mother-in-law makes delicious. My kid was sick last week and I had to go to the Jewish deli to buy some soup. It's very sad. I'm sorry. But I do make kick-ass latkes for sure. Yes, those are yummy.
I do love me a latke. Yeah, for me, being based in Toronto, I always went to Yitz's. May it rest in peace. I miss that place so bad. That was the place to get my matzo ball soup. When it was closing, I bought so many bottles of it.
The owners are like, we got nothing left. That Gentile girl keeps coming to buy our soup, and we have nothing left for the neighbors.
Are you a doomsday prepper when it comes to matzo ball soup? Is that what's happening?
When I got word Yitz's was closing, I would have bought the entire store had I had the money. I miss it. Oh, I miss it. Matt, what about you? What's your go-to? I don't feel so good soup.
It's kind of a tie between chicken noodle and tomato soup. Those are the two that I had growing up, and it's just whatever your mom makes you, that's what you go back to. And for me, is Campbell's chicken noodle or Campbell's tomato with like a half and half milk, half water, so it's a little bit creamy, but not too creamy. So,
I've never done that.
No.
Yeah, that's how the old Ardill family makes it. So just half and half, because if you put in water, which is what they recommend, it's just too watery. But if you put in all milk, it's just like cream of tomato soup. So this is like a nice, happy middle ground.
Huh. So. Look at how much we're learning. Wow.
Yeah. One thing I love to do with my tomato soup is grilled cheese croutons in it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
But the milk doesn't burn?
Oh, you got to stir constantly. So you just have to be careful with your stirring. So it's much more involved than just adding water, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
So now we all know why the matzo ball soup didn't work. But anyway.
It's more of a bisque than a soup. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, as we do on the show, Matt provides us with some fun facts that we can chew on later on when our guest joins us, or maybe debate off the top now. But nonetheless, Matthew, do you have any fun facts for us today?
Yeah, like one of these is very close to my life experience. I have a mission to make. I have a monkey on my back. Its name is Dex, short for dextrose. It's out back racking up lines of red path for me. I have a sugar addiction, and in no small part is that due to the cereal industry. Because Big Cereal is in bed with Big Sugar, the sweetener, not the band. In the United States alone, the cereal industry uses over 400 million kilograms of sugar per year. That's 881,849,048.74 pounds of sugar
God.
per year. In the United States alone.
That's just the States, not even Canada.
Just the States, not even Canada. We're probably proportionally about the same.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, soup is just chilling, keeping people cold or hot, depending on where they are being served. You need chill. How about some gazpacho andalouse? Or you need warm for the Canadian winter. Good old can of Campbell's tomato, like my mom served. But beware. The soup industrial complex isn't immune from corruption either. 1 cup of tomato soup, almost your entire daily intake of sugar. So Big Sugar, again, the industrial complex, not the sweetener, got to them too. Yep.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. And there's no reason for it. It's just to sweeten it.
That's what sugar's for, Matt. But
yeah.
I guess that's why
the more you know.
I guess that's why you want to learn to make your own soup, and then you can control that stuff much more. But it's so partially easy and partially nostalgic to open a can of Campbell's or whatever soup you grew up with, right? It's easy and it's quick and it's yummy and I didn't realize there was that much sugar in it though. That's crazy.
It's pretty bonkers, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, they have the low sodium. I wonder if they'll create the low sugar. Get on it, Matt.
I will. I'll call up the Campbell's family and go, like, guys, gotta help me with this.
Well, and tomato is actually a fruit.
It's true.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, technically.
So you are eating fruit soup when you're having tomato soup.
So does that make it a dessert?
Oh my gosh!
Just soup a dessert.
Oh no, let's not even go there.
Maybe. Well, what about? Did you do in your research? Did you find? I love a yum a squash soup. That's got a whole lot of sugar. It's got
look that up now.
Not sure. Yeah.
I think this just all goes to the point that that cereal can be soup. I feel like this is so interclosely. It's like we talked about on episode 1. They're kind of cousins. I'm pretty sure our guest completely disagrees with us. Before, but
I had oatmeal this morning. Let's just talk oatmeal for a second. I had oatmeal with some berries, and I threw some oat milk on top. And wouldn't you know it, it looked like a bowl of soup.
Wow. See?
Yeah.
All right.
Just the listeners at home cannot see the chat that's going on here in our call, but our guest is just typing furiously. I think it's time to get cracking.
Yeah. So Kelly, who is our guest today?
Yes. Speaking of that, we better get to it before they just leave in a huff, which I'm afraid of. But our guest, just off the top, one of my favorite comics, Montreal-born, Toronto-based stand-up, sketch, and musical comedian Rush Kazi is joining us today. Rush's comedy style can be described as confessional, raw, acerbic storytelling, drawing on life experiences as unique as jail time to as mundane as getting a wax. Rush's debut comedy album, About Time, was released in April 2022. Rush has been featured at Just for Laughs, JFL 42, the Toronto Fringe Festival, and has been producing comedy shows in the Toronto area since about 2012. And I've got to just give one little tip of the hat. because of a tag Rush gave me at a show, I now have the title for my debut comedy album. So I'm forever grateful to that tag that Rush gave me. Please give it up for the fantastic Rush Kazi.
Yay! Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
I did my best to not keep my mic muted while you guys all had your horrible, horrible takes. Like, first of all, vodka should never be a soup. What the fuck? Let's go back to that.
I'm with you, Rush. It's a hard no from me.
Yeah, that's not okay, guys.
No.
But okay, the whole cereal being a soup debate is always hilarious to me because it's like just because something's wet doesn't make it a soup. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Like seriously, like why would you think that? Is orange juice a soup now? Is that what's happening? Are we just gonna make all fruit punch a soup? Every cocktail you go out and having a drink, it's a soup now. Is that it? No. And also, cereal was invented by Dr. Kellogg.
Yes.
A non-anti-masturbator.
Yes.
Okay. And that's why he invented cereal. Okay. Soup makes you horny. Cereal makes you cry because God's watching you jerk off in the corner.
I'm never going to eat cornflakes the same again. Thanks.
You shouldn't. You never should have. I've never been a big fan of like cereal. I didn't grow up eating a bunch of sugary cereals like a lot of kids did. My parents were very like sticklers for health.
Right.
To a certain thing. Everything was home cooked and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Our going out was like maybe Chinese buffets, maybe an Indian buffet, or maybe a McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah.
And that McDonald's only happened because my sister has cystic fibrosis and was prescribed 4,000 calories a day.
Wow.
If that didn't happen, I don't think we'd ever have eaten at McDonald's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like freaking cereal, man. I grew up with like the lamest cereal. Okay. So it was like Cheerios, but not with like the honey or the frosting.
Just
if I
plain.
was feeling lucky, maybe sometimes I get the honey. Mini Wheats has very, very little icing sugar on it. But if my mom could just give me like a giant piece of wheat.
They have that. They have a big brick of wheat. Yeah.
I know, it was awful, but I had them. Right? Or just like that weird sprinkling of that brand for kids who have constipation, or I guess adults who have constipation. You know, Dr. Kellogg's people.
All brand buds.
Mucilex.
No, not Mucilex. It was literally just like the brand sprinkles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, Carrie, I think we've already gotten into these questions, but
we have.
Let's dive in further. What do you have to ask Rush today?
Rush,
I'm sorry, I just started ranting.
No, it's all good. We love the rant. So, Rush, I do have some questions for you, though. Our first question is, what was the first thing you learned how to cook?
Okay, so this is a little different because both my parents also worked in the restaurant industry. And they were a big fan of me being near hot elements at the age of 3 or 4. So I didn't learn how to cook something interesting. It was like just heating up hot dogs in a frying pan. But I was 3, so that's like Matilda levels of opening up a can of soup.
We have a savant.
Yeah. We have a savant. Back to soup, huh?
It always does.
Rush, what meal takes you back to childhood, aside from hot dogs in a pan?
My parents are from Bangladesh, so like traditional Bengali food is always good. Mm-hmm. If we're gonna, because I'm trying to stay in the topic of soup here, a very popular dish in Bangladesh is called halim, which is like a stew that's from like Arab and Muslim countries, but that was brought over by, I guess, Persians.
Oh, okay.
When they did their colonizing and conquering of Bangladesh at some point. But the food was good, right? And it's like this like stew made of grains, which can be considered cereal grains, cooked with beef. Cooked though with beef. Okay, chilies, and you squeeze lime juice on top and put a bunch of cilantro on top. See. Cereal itself is a grain. If you add milk to it, it's not cooking it. Oatmeal is a different conversation. I was saying that for the people who can't see my conversation. Oatmeal can be considered a stew of some kind. Sweet or savory. Sure, why not? Let's go with that.
Oh, this is a whole...
cereal? No, man.
No,
you can eat cereal raw. Like little kids, toddlers are eating Cheerios. Sorry, you have more questions to ask. I apologize.
I do, but go ahead. Go back on your Cheerio rant.
A weird tirade of how cereal's not a soup.
So,
the difference here is gazpachos are soups, even though they're cold. It's not because they don't have to be heated. You can blend it because there's a broth involved, okay? That broth was initially simmered. If you're making it from scratch, you are cooking at some point, then chilling, then blending and doing all the things and presenting. Cereal, you're not doing shit.
What about porridge? If my grandmother would heat the milk and put it over.
Porridge and oatmeal are the same thing. Cereal's different.
Well, us Irish call it cereal. Porridge, cereal.
Yeah.
Like a cream of wheat, I wouldn't consider a cereal, even though it's made of cereal grains.
Cream of wheat, yeah. Throw an egg on top of that. That's breakfast.
God, you people and your eggs on top of things. Stop it.
It sounds gross.
Thank you.
It's Irish. That's why.
Okay, so we do have another question for you, Rush. Does your spouse or partner have a food habit that drives you crazy? Like, for example, putting ketchup on eggs or stuff like that.
So he's white and I'm not.
Okay.
So that's the first problem. He is of Irish and Welsh background.
Okay.
So a lot of things I've been yelling about probably apply to some of y'all. But his grandma's like Tibetan Chinese who grew up in India. So he does have like an interesting palate where he will eat spicy foods. But like his mom will just... Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of soup, though I will fight to the end of the earth about how cereal is not soup. But I don't really like most traditional soups. Like the soups I like pho. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. And I like halim. And dals are not even considered soup to me in my mind. Somehow they're just like additions and dishes to like rice.
Right.
But they are technically soups. So the fact that he just likes eating soup all day and just like brothy soups.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm a broth person. I like broth, like with not much in it, you know?
Oh, yeah. He'll drink broth like it's a tea.
Yeah. I can relate to that.
No.
So
Heather does that. She's tried to get me to do it. I'm like, no, I'm sorry.
I was on a diet, sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Like so if I could fill up.
God. Is there a broth in your fridge?
I have bouillon.
Okay.
I don't just keep broth in my fridge, taking up valuable fridge space like it's not like valuable real estate. Come on, guys.
But here's the thing, though, I want to say, if you guys, because I'm not a cook, if you want your husband to think that you're cooking something, you put broth on the stove and throw an onion in the broth, and he thinks he's going to get a roast. Then you take his credit card and you order something and you bring it in. There it is. There it is, kids.
This is good advice.
No, cook something and order yourself a Coach bag. What are you doing?
I do that too.
Why either or? You know, it can be and. So
I think one thing that does irritate me. It's not a food habit. It's just because my husband did grow up with like a Chinese grandma. His favorite like comfort food now is Chinese food. And my ex is also Chinese, and for 5 years his whole thing was let's go grab Chinese food.
Right.
And my parents' idea of going out to eat, like I had mentioned earlier, is a Chinese buffet. I am sick of Chinese food, is what I'm getting at. And so it's not bad food, it's just more like, can we have something else?
Well, too much of anything is no good, right? You get sick of stuff. And you need some variety. So I haven't had Chinese food in ages. So now you've said it like 4 times and now I'm like really craving it.
Probably going to be really tasty when you eat it now.
Yeah, it's been a while. Before we get to our last question, and I'm pretty sure we know what your answer is to that one. Do you have a favorite breakfast cereal? Do you have a favorite cereal?
Good God, no. Okay. If I had to eat a breakfast cereal, I guess mini wheats, but the strawberry one.
Oh, interesting.
I haven't had those in ages.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they were like on limited edition. They just came back recently. But there was also like what is it called? Like a Special K with like chocolate and almonds.
Oh.
So I bought both of those because, if you buy 2, it was like on sale at No Frills. And guess who only got to try one of the cereals and only half a bowl of it? Me. Because my husband's white and apparently thinks cereal is something you eat all day.
It is.
It is something you don't say. I know. Okay, now I I have a feeling I'm going to know how you answer, but we have to ask this question of all of our guests because we are taking a running tally. The big question is now let me finish the whole thing, and then I want to hear your answer. Is cereal soup, and why or why not?
I feel like Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, can fully answer this question properly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to look up soup as a definition.
Oh, okay. Oh, this could derail the whole thing.
Yeah.
I will say while Rush is looking it up, so far
I got it, but yeah.
We've got 2 yeses, 2 maybes, and 1 answer of cousins.
They're cousins.
No. Oatmeal is the cousin of soup. Okay.
Okay.
Now, a soup is a liquid dish typically made by boiling meat, fish, or vegetables, etc., in stock or water, i.e. a bowl of tomato soup. Yes, tomato is a fruit. So are peppers. So are zucchinis. So are cucumbers. In fact, most everything that we use to make soup is considered a vegetable scientifically and botanically, but culinarily it's considered a vegetable. Just wanted to let you guys know that as well. That's not in the dictionary. That's just me ranting again because I love cooking. But basically all the good shit is a fruit. But yeah, so basically you need stock.
Right.
Now you can make a base like for a bisque or a chowder using milk and dairy products, sure. But you're still cooking the damn thing with spices.
That's true.
Which is why oatmeal can be a cousin, because cinnamon is a spice.
Interesting.
But you don't need to use milk. You use water sometimes. Blah, 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 blah. So with that definition, and me being an asshole, cereal is not a soup.
Okay, so Cal, what's our tally then? What do we have now?
I think I just moved into the maybe column.
You've switched allegiances.
I think Rush just convinced me to edge closer to
okay.
But I'm still hanging on to a bit of yes.
Okay.
So Mary says yes. Carrie, Matt, and I say maybe. I'm in maybe.
I have to say, it's like that was Rush's logic is the same logic that I used.
Right,
It's like
it is.
There's the cooking component, and that just reinforces it. So I'm edging closer to no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rush moved the players in this.
Wow.
Yeah. See, if you take Nesquik and milk and you make chocolate milk, that is not now a soup because you did some stirring.
But.
Are you going to call it with hot chocolate? Is that what you're doing?
No. But, hold on. Now, hot chocolate. Here we go. Hot chocolate, if you put whipped cream on top and I use a spoon, that could be a soup.
So would you say that your latte is a soup?
If I use a spoon, yes. If not, no.
So now it's about the utensil that you use?
Which you generally drink in a shot glass. Is that no longer a soup?
I would never drink a gazpacho out of a shot glass. I would have to have something, a spoon.
Wow.
But like if you're at like at a wedding, they're gonna hand out shotters.
But I probably wouldn't take it because I hate cold soup.
But
I still keep it.
You still call it a soup, even though it's in a shot glass without a spoon.
Nobody calls it gazpacho cereal, Mary.
Listen, Rush, when you listen to our other episodes about is a hamburger a sandwich, you'll see how crazy my linear mind works.
A hamburger is a sandwich. It's always been called a sandwich.
Nope.
Yay!
It's called a sandwich. A hamburger is a sandwich. It's just like a ground beef cooked sandwich.
Yeah, don't get into it with her.
But if I go to a burger joint, you can order it just the sandwich. That's the burger.
If I use a spoon, I use a spoon and like ice cream. I'm using a spoon and ice cream, but if it melts, it can be a soup.
Oh my God.
Oh God, Ireland, why? Why do I keep sleeping with your people?
Hey.
You guys are good-looking people, but the food, why?
Oh my!
And potato soup is a soup.
Well, yeah, that's a potato soup. It says soup in the title. The name says it.
I know, but if you have au gratin potatoes and you need to use a spoon, that might be a soup too. Potatoes au gratin.
That's not a soup.
I'm South Asian. I eat dal with my hands. That's still a soup.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
How do you eat that with your hands?
With none. Do you not? Like with
Oh. It's like if you've ever been to an Ethiopian restaurant, you see how they fold their food? We use like rice to fold our food. So you can actually use rice that's not sticky rice in a way to pick up the soup. It sounds complicated, but if you see me do it, it'll make sense.
Okay. Yeah. So apparently we all need to go for...
I want to have a travel show now where Rush takes
just
Mary
thinking that we need to go for dinner with Rush.
Yeah. Well, and I have so many allergies, though. Like half the stuff I won't be able to eat, but it's fine. I'll watch. I'll watch. Anyway, I still am on team yes. Sorry, Rush. You were riveting, but I still have to stand firm.
That's all right. So we've got 1 yes, 2. Matt, are you now in column no for sure?
I'd say I have a foot on either side of the line right now.
We got 3 maybes, 1 hell no. And,
you need a lot of melding of flavors, culinary techniques, and food interactions to make an actual pot of soup. Just saying.
Yeah. There we go, guys.
It's true.
Like cereal is still cereal when it's dry. How does that make it soup?
No, you need the milk. You need the milk component.
Need the milk.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, it's still cereal without milk. So cereal is not soup.
It's not
this derails our whole podcast, people. No.
It's not the whole show, right?
No. It's people are very passionate.
Cereal without milk? I don't.
My son,
me.
Yeah. Like instead of potato chips, you just like have some cereal.
So cereal without milk would be a snack.
But it's still called cereal. It doesn't change its name.
You don't say, let's have some dry soup.
I would not say to my kids when they were toddlers, here is some dry cereal. I would say, here is a snack.
Right.
Yeah, but no one says dry cereal because it's just called cereal.
And I would never say, here's cereal. Because they would say, Mommy, where's the milk?
Right.
And we would you see, a lot of toddlers will be eating like their Cheerios, like while they're like in strollers and stuff with no milk.
Right, all the time. Yeah,
they think of it as a snack, not as cereal.
They know it's Cheerios. They ask for Cheerios. The Cheerios is a cereal. Look, I fucking derailed it completely. Cereal is still cereal if it's dry. It's not soup. Soup needs to be wet.
My cereal is wet, always.
We're just going to have the next 4 episodes of this podcast just like reruns of some other radio show that we...
Just bring me back and I'll argue everything for no reason at all. I worked in law for 20 years. I think I miss it.
I think so. Jeez, we're going to have to bring Rush back to be like an expert witness on any kind of argument we have. Yeah.
Exactly. Are you ever going to come out with a cookbook, Rush? I feel like you need to have one.
I've already been putting one together.
Oh.
Awesome.
Guess what's not in it? Cereal.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's a great ending. Right there.
Thank you so much for joining us, Rush. This was an absolute treat. Everyone go into the show description and go get Rush's album. Treat yourself to that. Watch the special on Amazon Prime as well. And thanks for joining us today. You've changed the minds of Matt and I, so congrats.
I'm surprised you guys were all pro cereal and soup before I came in here. That was very shocking.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Well,
look, I'm just doing God's work here, trying to help people out. Trying to save your souls, man.
We appreciate it. Today's Kid of the Week is 12-year-old Jamie. Jamie, is cereal soup?
No, because I don't like soup and I like cereal.
This is interesting. I don't think we've had an answer like this before. Okay, I like it. Thank you.
Order Up is hosted and produced by Matt Ardill,
Mary Kennedy,
Larry Hayne,
Kelly Zemeckis,
and original music is by Rebecca McDonald.